Take it, boy!
Oh, my God!
Record!
That's dead even at this point, though.
Holy smokes, folks.
It's the fastest time so far today. That was... Oh, he's got
Game
it! He's got it!
Robert Abner, 3 on the deck!
Jason Wynyard!
Sitting on the ground running, it comes down
I've had a
to
competition
listening to
nearly
the
every
motor,
weekend
making
all
sure you have
year.
that chain working to it.
Logging has been practiced for thousands of years across many countries and cultures. Today, no one is quite sure how logging as a sport was born. According to one version, its origins date back to 1870 in Ulverstone, Tasmania, the result of a $50 bet between two lumberjacks keen to pitch themselves against each other in chopping trees. So the sport's roots go back to when logging was all about manual labor. The world's first documented logger sports championship took place in 1891 in Latrobe in Tasmania. The parallels between then and now are unmistakable. The competitors use similar tools, and the techniques across many disciplines remain the same.
Both cuts are good.
Like the underhand chop, the standing block chop, the springboard,
Climb to the top. They chop through 18 inches of Australian hardwood.
and the single buck.
If there's any timber left in Canada if they go through it at this rate.
It might look like a sport dominated by men, but women have been involved from the outset. The sport may have begun in Australia, but things have clearly moved on since then. Today's competitions are held in international and unique locations, and are now attended by athletes from all over the world. The athletes' performance and skills, along with the technology, have made huge leaps forward since the inception. Thanks to international competition and the sport turning professional globally, performance is today at an unprecedented level.
11:75, a personal best for Lawrence and your new current leader.
What a battle between these two warriors. Here we go. Oh, it's Meyer. Delos's top is loose and Delosa gets it. Wow.
Tommy, they have an 18-inch log. They have 4 inches to make 2 cuts, 1 down and 1 up. Hands on the log, saw, sitting on the ground.
1985 marked the start of the Steel Timber Sports series in the USA. The setup initially needed to find its feet. The first media presence in Wisconsin in the USA saw the level of the athletes rise a notch, and the series produced the first greats of the sport, such as Arden Cogar Jr.
That's the best stand block I've cut all year. Melvin's beat me at every show this year except one, and today.
Well, do you have some momentum going to Florida?
I think I'm starting to come right. I think I'm finally starting to come right.
Through its collaboration with the US sports channel ESPN, Steel Timber Sports has established itself as a sports series and produced some true legends of logger sports.
He's perfectionist. His effectiveness was always because he knew what he was doing.
He would look like he was asleep. He had this gift of lowering his blood pressure.
David Bolsted's my name, and I'm from the North Island of New Zealand.
He was probably the best relay cutter I ever had the pleasure of competing with.
All 6 events is absolutely incredible. Will we ever see somebody do that ever again? I highly doubt it.
They started calling him the professor.
Plainly, this guy is the professor.
After Matt Bush and the New Zealand professor, another icon of the sport stood out. The New Zealander Jason Wynyard.
Jason Wynyard.
Jason Wynyard.
Jason Wynyard.
Jason Wynyard.
Jason Wynyard is Mr. Timber Sports.
Mr. Timber Sports, Jason Wynyard has dominated the international competitions from 2009 to 2013.
It's great to beat Jason in 2013 and to come out at Stuttgart that year, and it's a dream come true and probably, the highlight of my career.
Who's it going to be? Wynyard or DeLosa? It's DeLosa getting through. Wow, best time for DeLosa. 8.25 is definitely fast enough.
I was very pleased with some of the wins that I had along the way. It's been a long road coming back.
But Jason Wynyard came back even stronger.
The defending world champ DeLosa up against the 5-time world champ Wynyard. Wynyard just hammering away at it. He gets it in 14.77.
The very next year, he regained his world championship title, and so began a new series of success.
He's always been a gracious winner. He's never, tell you how good he is. He's showed you how good he is. It's always, don't tell me, show me. And he showed everyone how good he is by winning Timber Sports 9 times,
On his way to his 10th individual world championship title, it was once again an Australian who upset his ambitions. But this time, it was Lawrence O'Toole.
Personal best for Lawrence and your new current leader.
Great time by Lawrence O'Toole with a 39.85. Oh, he's got it! He's got it! 5.87. Lawrence O'Toole, we have a new world.
It was again an Australian who dominated in Prague in 2019. Braden Meyer, aged just 24 at the time, won 4 out of the 6 disciplines to secure the well-deserved title. It made him the youngest Timber Sports individual world champion in history.
3 cuts on the deck. It's fired up. Braden Myers is your 2019 Stihl Timber Sports world champion.
To become a world champion, you have to master the following disciplines.
So here are the rules for the Stihl Timber Sports World Championships. 6 disciplines, 3 chopping events and 3 sawing events. It's all about the accumulation of points from all 6 disciplines, so these top guys really can't afford to make any mistakes whatsoever.
In the first round, each athlete competes in 3 disciplines. The fastest gets 12 points, the second 11, the third 10, and so on. The points earned in all 3 disciplines are then added up.
It all starts off with the underhand chop.
The underhand chop was formerly used to cut up logs lying on the ground. Standing on a horizontally anchored block, the athletes use an axe to cut through a 32-centimeter log. The block has to be chopped from both sides.
The world record for the underhand chop is being held by Braden Meyer since 2015.
So the second discipline is the Stihl stock saw.
In this discipline, athletes have to cut 2 discs known as cookies off a log in the fastest time. The first cut is made downward and the second upward. The athletes use a standard off-the-shelf saw.
In 2018, Christophe Leroux surprised everyone at the French Championship with a new world record at the stock saw.
So then we move on to the standing block chop.
The goal here is to chop through a standing wood block 30 centimeters in diameter from both sides. This simulates traditional tree felling. It's man versus tree.
At the World Championship in Liverpool in 2018, Matt Koger achieved a fabled world record at the standing block chop.
So once the first 3 disciplines are over and done with, and unfortunately we've lost the 4 slower athletes, we then move on to our next round of 2. But it now goes on to double points for these 2 disciplines. So now we talk about the single buck.
The single buck is a one-man pull saw 2 meters in length. The athlete uses the saw to cut a complete disc off a wood block 46 centimeters in diameter. Rhythm and power is key.
Jason Wynyard set the world record in the single buck discipline at the 2007 US Championship, using aids still permitted back then, a wedge and spray. These aids have been banned since the 2019 World Championships. The best result under the new rules came from the Canadian Ben Cumberland. He now holds the new world record in the discipline without aid.
So we move on to the springboard.
Springboard simulates a traditional way of felling trees over thick roots. First, notches known as pockets are chopped into the log. 2 springboards are then anchored into these pockets. The athlete climbs up to chop through a block of wood in the fastest time from there.
The Canadian Sterling Hard holds the world record in the springboard discipline with an unbelievable time.
But this time, instead of losing 4 athletes, we actually just lose the 2. That will leave us 6 to move on to our final round, which is the hot saw. But now it's triple points. It gives everybody an opportunity. If they've made a couple of mistakes, you know what? I could just sneak back in and steal the crown.
Hot saw is the final discipline. It's all about the perfect melding of man and machine. These saws weigh almost 30 kilograms with 60 horsepower or more. The competitor has to cut 3 cookies off a log as fast as he can. The athlete who has earned the most points in the end is the Steel Timber Sports world champion.
The German timber sports legend, Dirk Braun, still owns the record in this King of Disciplines since 2016. His amazing time remains unbeaten to this very day.
When it comes to how they swing the axe, single buck set for the competition, warming up those MS661 stock saws, going to the single buck. He peels that axe out of the block. Saws are warmed up now. Business on the axe. Keep that single buck straight and true. Good starts on this stock saw. It looked like there might be a slight advantage. And now starts working that long 2-meter saw. Working on that axe head speed because that thing is ripping. Running smoothly through that block. A very clean cut on the single buck. Final blow was super clean, and he drops that block in 1:12.54. These custom, handmade race-tuned machines are built for maximum power and precision and to cut the wood as fast as possible in a competition. They are built with a 60 to 80 horsepower single-cylinder 2-stroke engine, often taken from a snowmobile or high-powered motorbike. The hot saw can weigh up to 30 kilograms and its chain rotates at over 250 kilometers an hour. The cost of a competition hot saw used in Steel Timber Sports is upward of 6,000 euros. This is the one.
Looking at the individual competition, most of the time it's the hot saw that makes the difference.
Yeah, probably the most important event, but yeah, also the most frustrating.
These saws are so incredibly powerful and dangerous.
Usually the hot saw is the decider.
Stand to your timber.
Hot saw. Hot saw.
I can't describe to you when we're out there under pressure.
Saw starts well, first disc looks solid. The cut is good.
You know, you're always ending the competition on a hot saw, so you know where you're going to be at when you finish. So you're either at a real big high or just is what it is.
Nice clean cuts, easy and relaxed.
Der Hot Saw ist für mich die geilste Disziplin der Welt.
5, 6, 8, Robert Abner, 3 on the deck.
Once the competition comes, anything can happen. Oh no, a false start by Sterling Hart. What a disaster.
Yeah, it was a disappointment for me. Happens though, it's part of competing.
I saw there's 3 good discs there, but then they let that nose come right up underneath the crossover line.
Fortunately, a disqualification.
It all relies on the hot saw.
If you have bad luck or if you did wrong, it's sport. Just
oh my goodness. What an absolute disaster. The chain came off.
I was not disappointed because everybody see that I can be with the guys in front.
Yeah, it's the make or break event, you know.
I think you love and you hate it.
Try to make 3 good cuts and no disqualification.
The hot saw is where it's all won, so that's the best event.
Hands on the wood. Get set.
The timber sports competitions often come down to split seconds. Impossible to decide without a high-precision video and timing system.
The advantage of the video timing system is that this year we have 5 high-speed cameras, each records at 100 frames per second, so we can see all the details of each discipline. Okay, we're going to make a video check because we believe it could have been a false start. Can we check the start on stand A, please?
Okay.
That's a false start, disqualification. Common mistakes are, right from the beginning, is a jump gun or a false start. This could be where the competitor strikes the block before the go signal, or he moves his hands before the line on one of the sawing disciplines. Okay, Unfortunately, we have a disqualification for a false start. The way the system works is if we think we've got a call that we want to check on the system, we'll come forward to the decision zone, we'll make the video symbol, and then the guys in the video control center know that we want to check something. So we would have radioed ahead of time as well with the second judge on deck, and then they will replay for us the particular incident that we want to look at. It can avoid those discrepancies where people think they've been unfairly wronged.
Aside from the individual competitions, there are also Team World Championships, which see the world's best national teams battle it out.
The teams have spent the last year training for this competition. It's a struggle of team against team and man against man. The rules are simple.
The team race is like in athletics, like an estafette race, but then we do it with wood chopping events.
4 disciplines, head-to-head, so a knockout situation.
As soon as you lose, you go home, you know, so it's really important to continue on, and it's great spectator spectacle to watch and see who's the last man standing.
Starts with the stock saw.
You have to cut one whole cookie of a 46-centimeter block.
Moves on to the underhand chop.
You are standing on a block and you have to split the block between your legs.
Den Block durchtrennt.
From the underhand single butt.
Das ist 2 Meter lange Zugsäge.
That's a 2-meter-long single-buck saw, and you have to cut a 46-centimeter block.
And then finishes on the standing block.
It simulates the chopping of a standing tree.
The transitions is a very important part of the team. You know, you have to be very, very careful not to go too quick and get the 15-second penalty. The team event for me is very exciting because we get to take part of it. You know, there's 4 of us. We take all the responsibility. 4 of us come together, and it's a great buzz.
Australia holds the team competition world record with a time of 45.10 seconds.
World champion team!
The 2 dominating nations are Australia and New Zealand. No other country has managed to steal the World Championship title from them yet, although the decision was tight at times.
Poland is in tight, but it's going to be New Zealand.
Australia or New Zealand? Oh my God, how close is this? And it's Australia!
In 2011, Steel Timber Sports introduced a new competition format with the trophy. And this is a tough one. The participants have to complete 4 disciplines in immediate succession, culminating in a head-to-head knockout session where only the fastest gets through.
Yeah, well, the Champions Trophy's got 4 different events. You start off with the stock saw.
Good clean start by both of these athletes.
You want to stay really calm when you cut the stock saw, so you get a nice clean cut. It's just 1 cut down, and you put that down and run across to the underhand.
Only 1 cookie being cut off here.
Cut the underhand, quick as possible, and then you run back to the single buck.
Going to the single buck.
And you really got to concentrate on the single buck that you get a good start, because it's quite hard to start the saw and get away quick.
2-meter-long saw.
Body's starting to hurt a bit in the single buck, and you got to push through.
Cutting through that block.
Then you're moving to the standing.
He cut that cookie cleanly and moves over to standing block.
You have to really push it to get a good standing block.
Leave it all on the floor in that and just go your hardest. And hopefully when you finish, you're number 1.
Brett DeLosa set the world record in the trophy format at the Champions Trophy 2015. He completed the 4 disciplines in an unbelievable time of 57.59 seconds. The winners are awarded with a highly coveted trophy ring. With 3 wins, DeLosa has taken the most international trophy titles. For many newcomers to the sport, the so-called rookies, getting hold of such a ring is a dream they work very hard for. Training camps and rookie competitions are now held all over the world.
Stihl Timber Sports Canadian Rookie Championship.
This year's Stihl Timber Sports Rookie National Championship.
Ein Riesenapplaus für unsere Nachwuchsathleten.
Australian Rookie Champion Dan Gurf.
Oh yeah, we're here in Holland today for our rookie academies, and the main goal is to give our young rookies a new insight of what's up and coming. A lot of things that we've corrected with the guys. They've got some really good knowledge now and some really good insight on competition work. Top trainers, myself and Martin Cormack, have worked really hard. Bart's been working hard with the judging panel, so we've given them a really good insight and real grounding knowledge.
The rookies improved a lot. It was amazing. How they started and how they finished now is just incredible. Really good improvement. Very happy with the results.
You can train the guys as much as you like, but they have to have competition. Confidence grows a great competitor.
Which is precisely what it takes to make it onto the main stage. More and more up-and-coming athletes are realizing their dream and making a name for themselves at a top international level. So the established athletes can be assured of hot competition in the future. It will be exciting. There are also top-level competitions for the women. The women compete in 3 events during a competition: the underhand chop, single buck, and the stock saw.
I love the physical challenge of this sport.
Stihl Timber Sports is our version of the Stanley Cup.
Love the fact that I'm able to go out and hold axes and chainsaws and Stihl has done a great job at introducing women into the sport and getting us up at that professional level.
Timber sports uses wood as a natural product. It is therefore especially important to maintain fair competition conditions and that the wood is sustainably grown.
Hi, my name's Spike Milton, Global Sports Director for Stihl Timber Sports. Together with Head of Wood, Mr. Bart Jensen, we have a wealth of knowledge and experience with long-term wood management.
We have different partners to finding the good wood, and here we are on one of the plantations of our partner this year.
One of the biggest challenges that I actually have as part of my role is to work with our wood suppliers. There are some beautiful young trees. These young trees are the future. For us, we have to find consistent and fair wood.
The international timber sports competitions mainly use fast-growing poplar wood from certified plantations, as well as white pine.
After all our Stihl Timber Sports competitions, the spent wood is collected and recycled. A great example of this is wood pellets for biomass to be used for green energy.
We hope you enjoyed our dive into the world of Stihl Timber Sports, the original extreme sport.
Take it, boy! Oh, my God! Record!
That's dead even at this point, though. Holy smokes, folks. It's the fastest time so far today.
Oh, he's got it! He's got it! Robert Ebner, 3 on the deck! James